I'm going to see how, how much time this takes me. I did stop the game a little bit. I only idled for a little bit. And Oh, I see. I was trying to edit my current broadcast, but it's actually the past broadcast I want to edit. And also the future broadcast. Just like, you gotta set the title every time. And you have to set the title in advance. I wonder what will happen if I change the title in the middle. I think it like makes two things. And therefore is not useful. But we will see. There aren't even any flashing colors on the screen to amuse you. I'm sorry about that. Okay. Oh, no. I might have uploaded these out of order. Sorry about that. This is tough. It's tough to make them go in the right order. I guess I'll start the game. I can at least idle it, you know? Bustin', 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 bustin'. Good. Feel good. Feel good. Feel good. I have a little wine. I have some things I have to do later. Some things I either have to think about or perhaps avoid thinking about. All right, I will idle this. Ah, okay. I thought the times were wrong on the videos, but I think the times were right actually. And I just uploaded the wrong video first. By upload, I mean export. I'm really thinking about how surprisingly, just because of how I've specced my life, I may need to become a guy who convinces other people of moral truths, which always seemed like ridiculous to me, because you can simply perceive the moral aspects of a situation. So like, why would it's superfluous for me to come in and say like, actually, to do such a thing would be wrong, and you should do things that are right and not wrong. And also, like, I'm enjoying a little wine. the way in which things are right or wrong, you like discover that by reflecting on the situation and perceiving them. And so I feel like the only argument I have is like you should reflect more upon the situation, and then you will perceive that in fact what you thought was right was wrong, or vice versa, depending on what I'm arguing, of course. And it's really weird to me that I have to do that and that it works, you know? Because, like, if somebody's going to draw a conclusion, surely they've thought of it. But I think a lot of the time people are not doing that. And my particular habit of saying, here is my tentatively, I think this, people are not doing that. Yeah. 1,000, 10,000 bits. Excuse me. Oh, a red slaver. No, it's a red slayer. Oh, you can zoom in and out. Okay. That'll be useful for idling. Kind of just clicking whatever I can there. Yeah, it's rare to find a game that's sort of worthwhile to play, but also you can take your hand off of it and have a sip of your glass of wine. I suppose Factorio is also like that, you know? Weird to find a game that you can just alt-tab in the middle of. Weird that there's no way to reorder YouTube videos once I've already uploaded them. I guess I could delete the old part 2 and then re-upload it after the part 1 is done uploading. Yeah, that's probably the way. So they will be in order when you see this. I've caught the error early enough. I don't know. I feel like a lot of debate on topics is non-productive and kind of insulting intellectually. Boss defeated. Very nice. But it's hard for me to tell what the other, what the good alternative would be. Hmm. I guess that's pretty good. Like, I don't know. You also run into a problem where it seems like the most honest and possibly the most convincing way to make an argument is just to tell people, like, the reasons why you believe something. But then also, history is replete with like people who can give convincing speeches that don't seem to rely upon argumentation. And many people seem straight up unamenable to reason, which is always weird to me. How do you go about your day-to-day life? Hard for me to say. I'm always, when somebody makes an argument that isn't based in reason, I'm like, you're wasting my time. You should tell me about the reasons why I should support or oppose this thing. And I wonder if everybody on some level is like that. And they're like, well, it wasn't convincing. In that case, oftentimes they have a funny way of showing it. It is funny how everyone was like, don't do drugs. They'll kill you. And they did occasionally kill people. And then they just kept inventing drugs. And now there's like fentanyl, which is like heroin that kills you. It's like, wait, I thought heroin was heroin that kills you. No. Turns out heroin was like the safe version of heroin. You've been missing out. You could have been doing safe heroin this whole time. Safe heroin for responsible adults. That does get into a whole other topic of conversation that, like, as that neuroscientist who has used heroin and is like, it's time for us to say that it's okay if you use heroin, pointed out, like, there have to be a bunch of people who responsibly use heroin because you could not run an international drug trade off of deadbeat homeless people. Anyway, I'm gonna go rinse out this cup. Maybe get a little bit more wine. Ho ho ho. Powerful epistemic phrases, like, with all due respect, you have no idea what you're talking about. And I don't believe that's correct. And I disagree. You know? I'm more of a flat assertion guy. I'm in my flatly disagreeing area. I'm like, no, I don't believe that's correct. Nobody ever asks why unless they're interested. So, it serves its purpose. I found it to be a great weight off my soul to establish an hourly rate for investigating things for people. Because you don't have to spend time doing it for free. But it might improve the world if you do, which is so like, maybe you do want to do that. Wow. It looks so bad at every reduced resolution. I guess it looks the best at top and bottom. There's also the concept of, like, in a debate, you're not going to convince your opponent, especially if it's like a formal debate. But you could convince the audience. But, like, I don't have audiences. I'm not a guy with an audience. I'm a guy who at most is talking to people, maybe in a small group sometimes. And it's not clear to me if I should change my strategy when I'm talking in a small group versus when I'm talking to people one-on-one. Like, that seems disingenuous. Like, I'm not using you as an opportunity to expound to an audience. I'm talking to you even if we happen to be in a group. I was hoping that would be strong enough that I would just be able to instantly destroy enemies. In the end, to have a theory about these things, you just need to have, like, a general theory of human behavior. And, like, oh, people do or don't have moral attitudes because they're, like, afraid, or they don't really know what's happening, or they heard something from a guy once and thought, yeah, alright. There's often a two-tiered system of reasoners where if you're in the good tier of reasoner, you can do things that are like interesting. Frowned upon in lower tier. Like, you know, if you're not arguing in good faith, the hypocrisy is something to get you on. But if you are arguing in good faith, and maybe, you know, there's also an assumption that, like, you've also considered all of your opinions, which might not be true. And, like, if I point out you're being a hypocrite, you'd be like, oh, I never considered that those were in conflict. Let me consider those. And so I shouldn't ask a question about your principles, like, assuming that everything is in harmony. And I should instead ask the question, like, you know, like, it seems that on X you say Y, but on Z you say W. Do you think maybe the same principle in X could apply to Z? People go, yeah, that's interesting. I hadn't thought about that. You know? But anyway, if you're actually like a good thinker, anything that seems like hypocrisy to you, to other people, will just be like, I've considered both cases, and there are relevant distinctions between them. I think I need to get the guy with the bomb. I need to kill the big boss by hitting him with the bomb, because I think if I hit him directly... Ooh, very nice. Now I'm in a good mood. The wine certainly helped. You know. Things that look like hypocrisy are often just not. And infantile complaints about hypocrisy. I mean, some people are hypocrites, you know? There's no law that says you can't be listening to some retard who's just, you know, maybe he knows. Maybe he knows and he's like deflecting, like he can't state his real reasons, so he's like, okay, here's another wacky reason. Sometimes people don't even know that they're doing that, which is funny to me because I just directly reflect on things. But I think a lot of people are like, why do I think that? I don't really know. Let's make up a reason. Let's confabulate, bro. It'll be fun, don't worry. Where was I? I don't know. Appeal to moral intuitions, you know? It is sort of weird that this has its own special XP bar as well. I wonder if at some point I'll regret getting the higher chance of spawning blues, because blues will become useless to me. Appeal to the emotions, like, don't you believe in the value of freedom? You know? The moral sentiments, you could say. The value of freedom, if you're feeling particularly interested about it. At one point I was talking to a friend of mine and about why certain things were wrong. And I realized that, like, it's so hard to have that conversation because people just come with all sorts of crazy theories about why things would be wrong or right. And you kind of have to ask them, what's your entire theory of whether things are wrong or right? And also, what things do you think are wrong or right? And for what reasons? You know, because the easy thing to do, I don't know why this is such an easy thing to do, but everybody does it. Even people who are not utilitarians. You just assume the guy you're talking to is basically like a utilitarian. And then you either have to base your opinions in like literal suffering and pleasure. And you're like, actually, this would lead to more suffering. Or less pleasure. Very few people successfully pulling off the unadulterated, this would lead to more pleasure argument in moral disagreements. It also leads to some funny results, like it's immoral for you to stay home from that party. Where it's like, yeah, you're right, actually. Oh, I wonder if this will allow me to kill the boss. And even if you aren't just arguing like from utilitarian premises, then you have to demonstrate like, here are some more things that can be wrong that aren't just pain and pleasure. Which, I guess pain and pleasure is just like so universal, where like everybody knows that to experience suffering is bad, and to experience happiness is good. You know. Although some people kind of seem to have a instinctual hatred, a mistaken doctrine, if you will, that pleasure is bad. I'm not even sure they think it's like a pro tanto good. They're not like, oh, I would like to have pleasure, but unfortunately my God tells me I have to be a hermit in the desert or whatever, you know. I think a lot of them are just like, well, here's what I think we ought to do. Go live in the desert. I was about to say, here's what I like, living in the desert. No, that's not related. Hardly matters what you want. This could be different. It could be like plus 25% damage to enemies if that 25% would kill them. That would be interesting. Anyway, I listed some of these things because, like, what else are you gonna do? And my friend was like, I hate it when people make these lists. I was like, I guess that's kind of fair. I mean, he also hated it because people use, like, unusual language to make these lists. Like, dishonor is not a term we use very much in real life, but you gotta, because, like, if you believe in the moral harm of dishonor, that's what it is. It's not, like, embarrassment. That would be a completely different concept. That might, you know, exist as well. Nice. The final hit really did it for me there. The last strike. So yeah, this made me think, like, anytime I want to engage someone in moral conversation, I have to ask them, what's everything that's wrong and why? And I think that friend's opinion is just like, unless you know something I don't, it's just a matter of opinion what's right and wrong. And my response to him in that conversation was, that's, sometimes that's basically true, but sometimes you can hold different values, which they're not contentless. They logically imply things about how your other values should be used. So, like, you can't value freedom and then also say, like, we ought to lock someone up in prison for insulting the king, for example. I mean, you could. You can always, there's no hypocrisy, my friends. You just have to weigh those, and a lot of people don't weigh those. They're like, I never considered that maybe someone being in jail abridges their freedom. People also will often come to you with, like, crazy moral sentiments for something that apparently they think of as, like, a basic valuable thing, and I'm like, what the hell are you smoking, man? It is clearly an instrumental good to like make something externally productive of yourself. Like, the productivity has to be for something. That's just a random example. It might not be that good of an example. I've definitely read essays where people are like, here's the thing I think is the basis of my moral system. And I'm like, what the hell are you? What? This is not the basis, and you are confused about why you like it. And I do not even have to, you are either confused about why you like it, or you are the only person in the world with your peculiar moral psychology. As there are, there are people like that. That's why they made the word psychology in the first place. So, fair to that guy, except I feel like he's almost certainly just confused. Because something about regular psychology of people. Boy, people get confused on these matters of thinking crazy easily. It's like, why? How do you even get up in the morning, man? How do you even find your way out of bed? Do you even have the concept of a bed? Alright. I think I finally, maybe, have the capacity, the bandwidth to rejoin Discord chat. And I'm not really sure if anyone will join me. But it's a little bit better than rambling to myself. Although we are kind of getting into the weeds of it. You talk for long enough, you start talking about everything in the world. I'm doing other stuff. I'm playing this like an idle game right now. The only thing that would make playing it idly better is if it could suck up more of the stuff. But I guess I need the more magnet upgrades for that. You know, like occasionally I just have to come back in and... I can just save up for that. That'll be good. How do I... What things are blue? Are these all blue things? No. I don't know. I still want that. I'm doing it again. I guess I just want more of this, actually. For real. You know. There's nothing I want more. I'm having a debate online about marijuana legalization. Like it's 2010 or something. And it's just crazy to me whenever anyone thinks we should make marijuana illegal. It's like, what are you smoking? I can rule out one thing. The leaf that makes you go, haha? We should keep that one. You know, like, we should also, to stop overdoses of opioids, we should also legalize those so people can get consistent dosages. But I'm alright, you know, if you're like, yeah, but fentanyl, it's the heroin that kills you. Maybe we could keep that one illegal. I'm like, it does kill you. It is kind of like a poison. But marijuana? The funny leaf that makes you go, ha-ha! This puts you to sleep you. It could kill you if you, like, drive while high. But one weird thing about Americans is that they're all already drunk driving constantly, which is a crazy fact I learned. Like, everybody's doing it. I thought it was one of those things nobody did. But everybody's like, well, I'm here, I'm drunk, I need to be somewhere else. And, yeah, I mean, it's usually fine, actually. This is legal advice. You must drink and drive. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, 99% of the time, people are bad at thinking about these things, so I get why we don't make this case to the sort of person who would drunk drive. 99% of the time, maybe more, maybe 99.9% of the time, you'll be fine. Nothing will happen. The other portion of the time, you die. So, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. I still want this. Maybe I should just let it keep going. Anyway, I find it agitating. And in fact, I find it so agitating that I think I'm going to go smoke weed about it, which is a funny thing to do. Oh, hello. What's up? Oh, I guess I just disconnected and reconnected. Oh, I guess I leveled up. I wasn't looking at the screen. I was looking at a message my friend sent me. Yeah. Many more examples of times people have believed crazy things come to mind, but like, I don't know. We don't have to go through all of them. We don't have to go through a litany here. Yeah, I want more reds. I want more magnet pickup range. Wait, hold on. I mean, as long as I'm doing this, I might as well. Might as well spend all my money if I'm gonna spend a little bit of my money. Just through mousing around in other applications, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna move my guy in this game, so like it's fine. I'm reading something about video games I don't play. Yeah, so I think I'll smoke like a little bit of weed. You know, I'm not sure what the terms are. Like I'm gonna become tipsy? Like I've had enough wine to become tipsy. I might not even be tipsy. This has been like half a glass of wine total. And then I'm definitely not sure what the like weed term for being tipsy is. Tilted? I'm just gonna guess it's tilted. Like the video game term, but pleasant. Instead. Anyhow. I like my friends. I like my friends when they have weird opinions. I often get disappointed in them. I'm like, geez, if only their faculties were better. But I guess it is kind of my special interest, knowing which things you should do and which things you shouldn't do. Seems to me like everyone who does things should sort of have an interest in this, but it's not very common, I suppose. When I'm in another window, not that I'm doing that now, but when I'm in another window, I can just shake my cursor around a little bit. So I'm going to become crossfaded on two different types of tipsy. That's my plan. I sort of need to figure out how I'm going to do it. I mean, I guess I just go outside and then kind of, I'm not sure what mood I'll be in. It can create different moods in you. If I didn't have to come over here to re-idle it every time, I guess, making this be a game run in the background would be worth something, and then I could come back in and see how I feel about it. And if I wanted to continue. The magnet is so expensive now that I think I should abandon my dreams of becoming a baker. I mean, just give up on your dreams. I sit near my coffee maker, so I keep smelling my coffee, and I go, it's some good smelling coffee in there. Wow. Just give up on your dreams. I'm getting this, but I don't really know if I should want them. I guess I haven't yet run into a wall. Even though I want more reds, I haven't yet run into a wall where I don't want more blues. Weed is legal in Washington State and many other states, but it's not legal federally, so if any feds heard me, I was talking about smoking pipe weed from The Hobbit, which is of course tobacco. The rest of the conversation was about cannabis, however. Just in case you were wondering. Still died, huh? I think it would be pretty hard to describe this game mechanic in a compelling way, but it would be fairly easy to sort of just happen into it by like moving shapes around and stuff. You know? Like I'd be like, okay, you're a dot, and you hover over other shapes, and like they disappear and you take damage, but you deal damage. And whoever I was in the conversation with would be going like, yeah, I'm imagining it. What's the fun part? Okay, so I think once the boss appears, I lose more health per second regardless of whether... Or I lose more health per hit regardless of whether... Wow, a new currency will appear. Net damage, I guess. Regardless of whether I'm hitting the boss or something else, so I might as well just hit the boss. You know, I said I was gonna go smoke weed, pipe weed, with the hobbits. And, now I'm not doing it. I'm procrastinating smoking weed. I'm the worst stoner, hobbit, ever. Nice. I guess they call them prestige, but I'm not really sure why they do. I guess there's sort of a concept of resetting something. Or maybe it is just prestige in the sense of honor. That's nice. That's a good upgrade. Bolster. You pronounce the L in bolster. Unless you pronounce it as a Y. That's a way some do it. Some people do it. You don't pronounce the L in walk, like to walk from place to place. Or palm. Or cock. Although it does change the vowel from cock to rooster. They have pentagons now. I have some chips. So I am gaining less. Is that worth it? Is there anything else I can buy? The crypto mine. It's cryptocurrency. I guess there's not anything I can buy with my little level up points. Curious. I'm looking forward to that crypto mine. Let me go down one of these levels just to get some blue guys. Just to get some of those blue guys. It is a beautiful day outside, and that's gonna be pretty pog, as the kids say. Oh, I still don't have enough for the crypto mine. No! I shouldn't have purchased that. Should not have purchased that. It's a beautiful day outside, and I'm going to smoke weed and walk around. The two greatest pleasures in life. Number 3, of course, falling in love. Number 4, people think it's a little gross when I say this, but you know, it's popping a really satisfying pimple. I don't even like the word pimple. You know? Like, if it were called, like, a zhurt or something. Oh, I zhuzhed the zhurt, you know? I'm not really sure what a pimp is, or how it's related, but by God, I'm going to find out. Now, the thing I thought where it's probably like the same damage whether I'm hitting guys or not does sort of contradict my previous experience where I seem to last longer if I hit the seem to last longer if I hit the bombs. Oh, that barely increases in price. Interesting. Instead of the boss. Shouldn't buy it directly. We'll go up to 5. I think I can get 1 blue on 5, you know? Even with pentagons. It is kind of crazy how we have, like, a government that's, like, you know, in general, our government kind of does some cool stuff, protecting us and providing for the common defense. And then, like, it just also will randomly invade other countries. It's like, wait, hold on. And then I want to respect people who, like, work for the government. I see. So it just converts it. Oh, and I can use a new currency. Many currencies happen. I suppose even calling them currencies is sort of misleading. You know? People who who work for the government are often like very rule-following people, and unfortunately that means they can also follow bad rules. I guess this is kind of, you know, it's the fault of the people for electing bad rules, in a sense. But, like, you know. Edward Snowden saw that there were some bad rules going on for his client, the government, and was like, hold on. Wait a minute. The people need to know about this. As a guy who's already tuned in, I was like, yeah, I kind of already assumed the government was doing that. I didn't really need you to tell me. Still, like, it is kind of crazy that he didn't get whistleblower protection, or he just, like, assumed he would not in a very reasonable way and went, I think I'll be going to a different country, sir. I think I'll be going to America's the American people's stalwart best friend and secure of their liberty, Russia, and I will hang out in a Russian airport. Anyway, he seems like a fun guy done wrong by his country. You know? And why the hell hasn't Trump pardoned him? I heard Trump dislikes Snowden for some reason. I don't know. Just like, pardon that guy. Wasn't he Persecuted by Obama or something? You hate Obama, the enemy of my enemy. I feel like Trump is not super committed to, like, even though it would be a stick in the eye of the other guy, the rule of law is, you know, he loves sticking it in the eye of the other guy. What more do you want? Interesting. Oh. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'll let that run for a while. Another achievement for pointlessly advancing the number. Oh. Oh. Curious. That was a good bomb. Nice. I don't know. There's a lot to choose from here. That'll be fine. Nah. Alright, time for me to pay attention to something else for a little bit. Alright, that's the level up noise I never use. I need to get on After Dark with this friend of mine. Have a 4-hour discussion about whether marijuana should be legal or not. In England, because this show it takes place in England, also during the 80s or something. Oh man. Oh, I see. So enemies will drop processors. At this point, I'm kind of like, I just want to get all the yellow ones so I can stop thinking about, oh, which ones should I get? I want to get them all to yellow. Don't worry about it. Alright, I'm now going to rearrange the videos by uploading the second one first now. Or rather, the second one second now. But I've uploaded the first one. Wow, I defeated the boss without looking at it. What else we got going on? Ah, big attack size. Excellent. Big health. Crypto still mining. Let's breach. Let's start the session. Let's go back to what I was looking at. Yes. Okay, that's good. Is that a past broadcast? Am I dropping frames? Yeah, it seems to be working alright. I died. I tried shaking my mouse violently to collect things. Maybe I shouldn't jump over prestige levels immediately, because I am losing more money each time. Or I'm not gaining as much money each time, which suggests to me, like, that's the whole game, honestly. Wow, I even got a yellow one. Let's just go for it again. I'm performing administrivia over here. There's a famous frame of Tails Gets Trolled where Sonic says, "I'm so mad I'm gonna go off and have sex with my girlfriend." Honestly, iconic. A legend. Love him to bits. That's not even useful because I don't even get to the boss yet. I don't know, a lot of these, I wish I could queue them up, I guess. Because a lot of them, I'm just randomly picking them in the moment, right? You know? I suppose I could go on the algorithm of which will make it most yellow. An easy algorithm to mess up. Now I'm sort of trapped in Chinese hell here, thinking about like, oh, I'm sort of stuck in here, and honestly I should do something else with my day. But like then I'd have to move and stuff. Then I'd have to go put on my weed smoking pants so I can chill with the hobbits. Yeah, 1,000 nodes. Very good. That'll help me in my idling journey. Wow. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, it does make a new VOD when I change the title or... Yeah, of the video. Maybe that's why Northern Lion is always saying /marker, because instead of changing the title of the video, he just sets a marker, and then later... I guess he edits his videos anyway, so... he needs markers. I've been watching the Northern Lion Trick Shot Simulator Saga the real way, where you just watch him play Trick Shot Simulator in real time. Actually, I speed it up a little bit, but you don't skip. And I guess I'm a type B chatter there for the chatter in a different sense. So I like it when he says stuff. So I thought it was kind of like a renaissance of Northern Lion content, because he has nothing to do but provide his inane commentary. Except that, like, I don't know, by the end of the first one it was kind of like, well, actually, when you get right down to it, he's sort of run down, beaten down by the world even. Beautiful. You'd love to see it. Wow. Bit armor, bite armor. Very good. Maybe that's like, this is the final tier of what you can do with reds. Drainer. That was my ex-wife's nickname in high school. Let's go up a prestige level, see if we can get these bad boys. Oh, yellow. Wow. Again, I'm not really getting to the boss, so it doesn't really make any sense. Nice. So there's gonna be one VOD of me playing Nodebuster that's just 2 minutes long. But that's how we roll, Daddy-o. Oh, there's the boss. Yeah. Again. Not being on the thing. Still, there we go. A blood injection. Damn. I've largely been surviving off of eating a collection of tallow fried potato chips I have, which is a little worrying. But also, since they are fried in tallow, they're a little bit more substantial than anything else. You know? I'm also surviving off of Andy's mints, which is funny because they're mints. They're like what a restaurant gives you before and after your meal because they are not a significant source of any nutrient, including calories. I'm looking at my email. Got some very important email. Very important email for a very important man. And also a lot of Amazon email that's like, just so you know, we've shipped your purchase. It isn't like there. You don't, no action is required on your part. In fact, I have one thing I pre-ordered, so like, you can't even get it. It's not even real yet. There we go. What do you want to do with your newfound wealth? Have a bigger attack size, perhaps? I guess that would be sort of counterproductive if we assume that I'm not going to be able to get more magnet range. It's like the bigger attack size means I still need to shake my mouse around. In fact, if I had the smallest attack size, that would be the best for picking stuff up purposes. I guess again, we'll go back down one. That's pretty good. That's also pretty good. I want that. Especially if it makes it so that they just instantly die. Click here to die instantly. I guess I need to throw more money into the crypto mine. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. We'll just immediately do that and not worry about the rest. I've gotten through enough of my browser tabs that I'm down to the first set of identical browser tabs I made to do these tasks a while ago. Wow. Incredible. Oh, I have a lot of good stuff to listen to on my walk. That'll be fun. Looking forward to it. I'm eating some crackers. I also have crackers. I'm just adding more and more things to the list of the paltry gruel on which I'm sustaining myself, I suppose. 100 damage, that's pretty good. That's also pretty good. Wow. Right click drag, there we go. I guess I can just close my browser tab completely, or my browser window completely, because I'm just... What happens if I click the big button that says terminate? Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Interesting. Some people like to do fasting. Some people claim they like to do fasting, and then they say intermittent fasting. And then their idea of fasting is like every time between your one meal of the day. which is a little bit of a cop-out, I feel. I mean, sure, if that's what it's called, that's what it's called. You know, they don't make the rules. I don't make the rules either. But, and there's sort of a lot of evidence in that many cultures have a time when you should be fasting. Which is like, you know, if they all independently did that, maybe there's something to it. Maybe they were like, nobody bothered to write this down, but when you fast, you feel great. Which occasionally I have fasted, and I thought, wow, I feel great. I'm not sure why. We'll just throw that into the crypto mines. But mostly when I fast, I just feel like terrible. I'm like hungry and stuff. You know? You know how you're hungry and stuff? You know how when you don't eat food, you hunger? Has anyone noticed this? And in my case particularly, I get run down as well. My mood typically dives. My sense of hope and optimism, gone. I just spilled a lot of crumbs on myself. I'm gonna need some water for all this salt as well. Ideally, I would smoke indoors without, like, you know, making a smoke stench indoors, ruining the value of this property. But unfortunately, science, excuse me, has not yet determined a way to do this. So... I might regret eating those crackers, because those were pretty, as I say, clutch crackers, and that really came in handy at certain times in my life. And I guess they were just oyster crackers, so they never really went bad. Maybe they were already stale or something. They were just salted wheat. And I can tell when crackers get stale, usually, so... The cracker and the wine is not as good of a combination as I thought it would be in my head before I tried it. I wonder how long this cheese will keep in my fridge. Maybe I should have some salami and some cheese. Heat up the salami on the stove. It's a good time. Alright, let's go back to the algorithm. Oh, that's my guy. That's my little friend. My friends have talked about Yu-Gi-Oh! Video games so much, video games I don't play, that they have now moved on to posting a picture of Yu-Gi-Oh! As a pharaoh. Wow. I'm doing that again just so I can see it again. I'm just instantly losing life. That's funny. I think this one might be a good mode to purchase. I wonder if things would be even better down on, like, Prestige 1. We're really destroying a lot of reds. Me when I'm General Patton in his fantasy scenario about fighting the right enemy. So yeah, let's go down to Prestige 0 and see what happens. No, it's still a lot of enemies. The crazy part is, now I'm reading this conversation, I have no idea why my friend is posting Yu-Gi-Oh! This guy is just posting sexy pictures of Taya from Yu-Gi-Oh! I guess they're debating whether or not Taya was hot in the show, and they made her hot in the movie. We're talking about patents. Talking about Magic the Gathering. Whew. I'm wiping sweat from my brow, scrolling past these huge walls of text, trying to glean simply a summary from them. Now we're back up to Monster Hunter. So we're back. This really can go forever in the background, huh? So long as you're on Prestige 0 or whatever. Maybe I will just let it ride. I'm playing a game about shapes colliding, and my friends are talking about how women don't have hot women in don't have good hot women in video games anymore. I don't know. I guess I don't play enough video games that I've found there was a hot woman or something. They need more hot women. The hoflation. It's crazy. Alright, well I'm gonna let this idle even more. I'm gonna go use the restroom and then sort of arrange my affects and stuff. Actually, you know, now that I think about it, let's terminate. Let's go up a couple prestige levels. Yeah, so I think this number is lower, even though it ran longer. So I think there is something about prestige going on in there. I'm not quite sure what, you know, the formulae are. And I think I'm gonna have to feed my crypto a lot. If that's how it's gonna be. Lethality, I see. This is going over to a whole other thing. Okay, so the top one is 8. If I do 5, will 5 just continue like indefinitely or whatever? I guess I'll just leave this here for now. Come back in a little bit. It's still going, huh? This is a real, Vampire Survivors 0-button shooter situation. Time for me to clean up all these things and restore my frame rate. And then ignore it again. Close my browser, also get some extra frame rate in there. Although I think what we've learned here, I don't know, maybe I should bump up the prestige a little bit. Destroyer of Blue. Good. Alright, back to the plan. A little bit of a higher prestige here. I wonder if the prestige is named after the prestige, or rather the concept of the prestige from the book that's based on. Because, like, it's sort of similar. It's like the twist. Well, we'll level up. Okay, this is, yeah. That's also pretty much running indefinitely. Maybe 7 is good enough. I don't know why part 1 is uploading again. For me. Seems like my internet is good enough. I wonder if this will run out of, juice or whatever. I'm reading a Xavier Renegade Angel meme and going, how droll. I think when you make the game run slow enough, it doesn't pick up all the interstitial frames the control might be over. So it's harder to pick things up as well. That's interesting. The fact that I'm so good at this level suggests to me I would also be incredibly good. Like my guy would be incredibly good at the next level as well. I'll just throw it all in there. We don't need to worry too hard. Maybe I shouldn't have uploaded that on account of like that changes certain things. So yeah, my theory is if I just leave my controller here, by which I mean my mouse cursor, it'll basically be fine anyway. The progress bar is going fast. Nice, yeah, I should have picked more stuff up.
But I was busy typing. I was busy checking they phone. Sort of joyless clicking on the next possible thing. Let's start this session. Go ahead, start my session. Well, that worked surprisingly well. Surprisingly well. It's pulsing time. When was this game made? Is this a reference to its morbing time? I'll go down one. I ain't afraid no ghost. That's a funny little shape. Whee! Interesting. It didn't last forever. Even more, you say? That's pretty good. Indomitable. Like the snowman. Right. Alright, computer end program. Good, good. Up to prestige level 10. I need to brush my teeth. Probably won't do it right now, though. Frame rate slowly dipping down. Wow. Immediately killing the boss. Nothing I can kill with boss money? Curious. Wow. Max health permanently gained. That's pretty sick. What is this? Insatiable. Yeah, that's a good name for it. Alright, we'll try this again. There we go. Maybe that's not as good as I'm thinking, because, like, there aren't that many seconds in a thing where it's actually working. Oh, shouldn't have attacked him directly, I guess.
Ah, the blood blade, so easily forgotten. Okay, time for me to start getting dressed so I can go out, I guess.
It's sort of cold out there.
Guess I'll change into my cold going clothes. You're darn right. You're darn tootin', in fact. Am I slowly running out of... What? Am I slowly running out of things that cost red? To infinity, going nowhere, void. That's a funny sequence of words right there. Yeah, let's play a little Prestige 12. Let's see if getting the extra bonus health does everything my little heart could desire. Okay, I like how when it zooms out you can still see the border specifically. That's cool. As good old What's-Her-Face once said, it's fine, it's cool. Chapel Rome. Health reaches 0, really, still. Huh. There we go.
We are back. We are so back. Alright, I'm probably gonna go for a walk, but like, leave this running. So I will end the stream out of consideration for you, the viewer.